All right, you want to dig up some dirt on this Scott Bessent character.
Oh, we're going deep on this one.
This Wall Street hotshot who went from being Soros's golden boy to, like, Trump's little bitch.
Yeah, real piece of work, this guy.
Let's cut the crap and dive right into this shitstorm. We got his Wikipedia page.
Lay it on me.
And it's a goddamn soap opera, believe me.
Well, he did start with George Soros, you know, Mr. Liberal Moneybags himself.
And then he jumped ship to bankroll Trump.
Yeah, then he's whispering sweet nothings about economic policy in Trump's ear.
What a mind fuck.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Okay, so, Bessent, born South Carolina.
Small town boy makes good, right?
But ends up rubbing elbows with the elites at freaking Yale.
Typical.
But get this, he was president of Wolf's Head.
Wolf's Head.
This super secret society that makes Skull and Bones look like a kindergarten playgroup.
Bunch of pretentious asshats, if you ask me.
No kidding.
But those connections, though.
Oh, for sure.
They sure as hell didn't hurt his career. He throws money at Yale like it's nothing.
Like it's Monopoly money.
Donated a whole library, fund scholarships, the whole 9 yards.
Clearly knows how to play the game.
Knows how to grease the wheels.
Okay, so this Yale-educated asshole decides to become a financial ninja.
Well, gotta put that fancy degree to good use.
Starts as an intern for Jim Rogers.
Another Wall Street legend.
Then bounces around these big-name firms like Brown Brothers Harriman, Kinnico's Associates.
Guess you gotta learn from the best before you can screw over the rest of us, right?
Right.
Yeah, he definitely paid his dues in that snake pit. And then, boom, lands at Soros Fund Management in 91.
91.
Perfect timing, wouldn't you say?
Before what?
Right before Soros breaks the Bank of England.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about being in the right place at the right time.
Talk about being a goddamn genius or something.
Oh, well, Bessent was a key player in that whole scheme.
$1 billion score.
Billion with a B.
But this guy, he's not content riding Soros's coattails.
Oh, no.
He starts his own hedge fund in 2000.
Of course he does.
$1 billion goddamn dollars under his control.
Balls of steel, this motherfucker.
Yeah, no kidding.
Takes more than just balls to play in that league, though.
What else does it take?
Bessent's known for his global macro approach.
Global macro.
Reading those geopolitical tea leaves, making bets on currencies and commodities.
Thinking big.
Right.
Playing dirty.
So he's raking it in with his own fund. But then decides to crawl back to Soros in 2011.
Well.
Becomes the chief investment officer for the Soros family office.
Someone's got to manage all that Soros cash.
Talk about a power move.
Oh, but wait. There's more.
Hit me.
He launches KeySquareGroup in 2015.
Another one.
Another multi-billion-dollar venture.
This guy's a goddamn money printing machine.
KeySquareGroup's an interesting one.
Fill me in.
Their whole shtick is using geopolitics and economics.
Kind of like his old hedge fund gig.
To make these big picture macro investments. They even snagged a $2 billion investment. From, you guessed it, George Soros himself.
No keeping it in the family.
Talk about an incestuous little circle.
They did end up returning that money, though, as they took in other assets.
Ooh.
They even got Australia's sovereign wealth fund on board.
Wow.
These guys are playing at a whole other level.
So, okay, this dude's conquering the world of finance.
World domination, $1 at a time.
But then he gets this itch to play politics.
Oh.
Throws a fundraiser for Al Gore back in 2000. Not that weird, I guess.
For a Wall Street douchebag.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then he seemed like your typical Democrat.
All talk, no action.
Exactly. But then 2016 comes along. And this motherfucker drops a cool $1 million on Trump's campaign.
What the actual fuck?
Right.
Was he drunk?
Maybe he hit his head? I'm so confused right now.
It's enough to give you whiplash.
Seriously.
And it doesn't stop there. He throws more fundraisers for Trump in 2024.
This is insane.
Raking in
millions.
Nothing to be talking here.
$50 million at that Palm Beach bash alone.
Are you kidding me? Nope.
And it's bought him a seat at the table, no doubt. He's advising Trump on economic policy now.
Oh, great. Just what we need. Another Wall Street crony whispering in the president's ear.
And some even say he's in the running for Treasury Secretary if Trump wins again.
Treasury Secretary?
You heard that right.
Holy shit, that's terrifying.
It's enough to make you want to puke.
This guy's playing both sides of the fence, and I'm starting to get pissed off.
I hear you.
First, he's all chummy with Soros, then he's bankrolling Trump.
What a goddamn chameleon.
What kind of game is he playing?
It's definitely a power play. But he's not just dabbling in finance and politics, you know?
Oh, there's more.
He's also got his fingers in philanthropy, which just adds another layer of bullshit to this whole thing.
Philanthropy.
Yeah.
Seriously. This is getting weirder by the minute.
You're telling me?
This guy sounds like he's trying to buy his way into heaven after screwing over half the planet.
Maybe he's hedging his bets, you know, just in case.
So he's a finance whiz kid, a political chameleon, and a philanthropist.
The trifecta of bullshit.
This guy's more confusing than a Rubik's Cube after a tequila bender.
I'll drink to that.
What the hell is his angle?
Is he trying to pull a fast one on all of us?
It's hard to say what's going on in that twisted mind of his.
Really?
But one thing's for sure.
What's that?
This dude's a goddamn enigma, wrapped in a riddle and sprinkled with a healthy dose of bullshit.
Jesus.
You said it.
Okay, let's unpack this political flip-flopping bullshit. I mean, hosting a fundraiser for Al Gore is one thing, but throwing $1 million at Trump? Did this dude hit his head or something?
Some people think it was a calculated move.
What do you mean?
Like maybe he saw Trump as a way to, get his foot in the door.
Get some of that sweet, sweet power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And boy, did it work.
Access is an understatement. This guy practically joined the Trump circus at this point, throwing these mega fundraisers, raking in millions for the 2024 campaign, $50 million at that Palm Beach bash alone.
It's obscene.
It's insane. Yeah, but it's bought him a seat at the table, no doubt. He's advising Trump on economic policy now. There are even rumors he's being considered for Treasury Secretary if Trump wins again.
Treasury Secretary? Are you shitting me? So what's this genius's economic plan? Another tax cut for his billionaire buddies.
Actually, word on the street is he's cooked up this 3-point economic plan for Trump.
Lay it on me.
It's modeled after this Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. What's his name? Abe. Yeah. Shinzo Abe's 3 Arrows economic policy.
3 Arrows sounds like some cheesy kung fu movie bullshit.
It's all about aggressive monetary policy, fiscal stimulus, and structural reforms. Basically things like deregulation and cutting the deficit.
Deregulation. So let Wall Street run wild again and screw over the little guy. Haven't we learned our lesson from that 2008 financial crisis shit show?
Well, from what I've heard, Bessent's argument is that these policies are the only way to boost economic growth and create jobs. Trickle-down economics bullshit.
Oh, right, because giving rich assholes more money has always worked out so well for the rest of us. What a load of crap.
It's a controversial approach, that's for damn sure. And there's no guarantee it'll work.
Let's be real, this guy isn't doing this out of the goodness of his heart. He's a Wall Street shark, swimming with the rest of them. He's looking out for his own ass and his buddies' asses, not the average Joe struggling to make ends meet.
You're not wrong. Let's not forget, he's a hedge fund manager. Those guys are all about making a quick buck, even if it means screwing over everyone else.
Exactly. So what's his game plan? Trying to position himself to make a killing off Trump's policies? Using the presidency as his personal ATM?
It's not out of the realm of possibility. If he can pull the strings on economic policy, he could definitely use that to his advantage. Make himself and his buddies even richer while the rest of us fight over scraps.
And let's not forget about all that money he's throwing at Yale. Maybe he's hoping to buy his way into a cushy academic position when the Trump train inevitably crashes and burns. A nice little escape plan.
He's already been an adjunct professor there, teaching economic history no less, and he and his sister donated that whole library, remember?
Yeah, well, when you've got billions, I guess you can afford to be generous. Throw some crumbs to the peasants while you feast on caviar and champagne.
It's all a game to these people. A big fucked up game, and we're all just pawns.
This whole thing is making me sick to my stomach. This financial hotshot, playing both sides of the political field, making a fortune while pretending to give a shit about philanthropy. It's enough to make you lose all faith in humanity.
It definitely raises some uncomfortable questions about how money, power, and influence really work in this country.
You think this guy's a walking example of how the system is rigged in favor of the elite? It's like a giant fuck you to the rest of us.
Look, it's a complicated issue. There are no easy answers.
Easy for you to say you're not the one getting screwed over by these Wall Street crooks.
I'm just trying to analyze the situation objectively.
Objectively. The whole thing is fucked up.
I hear ya. It's easy to get cynical when you see someone like Bessent profiting from every angle.
You're goddamn right it is.
But maybe there's more to the story than we see.
More to the story, like that he's secretly a superhero fighting for truth, justice, and the American way. Don't make me laugh.
I don't think that's it. But perhaps his motivations are more complex than we're giving him credit for.
All right, fine. Let's play devil's advocate for a minute. What's the best case scenario for this guy? What's the least shitty explanation for all this?
Maybe he actually believes in the policies he's pushing. Perhaps he sees Trump as a flawed but necessary tool for change. A bull in a china shop, but a bull nonetheless.
And what about the whole donating to both sides thing? Is that part of his master plan?
Maybe he's hedging his bets, not for personal gain, but because he genuinely doesn't know the best way forward. He's just trying to cover all his bases, make sure he comes out on top no matter who wins.
Okay, you're really reaching here. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that he's not just a greedy bastard. What does that say about the state of our politics?
It suggests that even people with good intentions can get sucked into the cesspool of political maneuvering and power plays. It's a slippery slope, and it's hard to stay clean when you're playing in the mud with the pigs.
So it's not just a simple case of good versus evil. It's more complicated than that.
Much more complicated. It's a goddamn labyrinth of greed, ambition, and delusion, and it's hard to tell who's playing who anymore.
This is giving me a headache. I need another drink.
Okay.
Let's take a break and regroup. This shit is too much to handle sober. Okay, so back from the abyss of despair, did we reach a verdict on this Bessent asshole? Saint or sinner?
Definitely not rocking a halo, but I wouldn't call him the devil either. Dude's a walking contradiction, a real puzzle.
So we're no closer to figuring out what makes this guy tick.
Maybe that's the point. Maybe he wants to keep everyone guessing, keeps people off balance, makes it harder to predict his next move.
Or maybe he's just a manipulative bastard playing everyone like a goddamn fiddle. Uses his money and influence to get whatever the hell he wants. Consequences be damned.
He's definitely got the brains and the balls for it. The question is, what does he want? What's his end game here?
So what's the takeaway? Genius? Villain? Or just some lucky son of a bitch who's in the right place at the right time?
Honestly, probably a bit of all three. Smart as hell, obviously. Ambitious as fuck and willing to do whatever it takes to claw his way to the top. Shady-ass decisions, no doubt. But successful, too. And, yeah, luck always plays a role.
Basically, another Wall Street asshole who figured out how to game the system, plays both sides, makes a killing, and leaves the rest of us to clean up the mess.
That's one way to look at it. But don't forget, philanthropists too, right? Charities, historical buildings, maybe a shred of decency under all that greed and ambition.
Right, fine. Maybe not a complete monster. Still wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him, though. Something about this guy just rubs me the wrong way,
Fair enough. I don't think anyone can really know what motivates someone like Scott Bessent. Like a goddamn onion, layers upon layers of bullshit. You never know what you're going to find at the core.
Well, one thing's for sure, he's a survivor. Navigated the Wall Street Shark Tank, the cesspool of politics, and somehow kept his personal life from imploding. Got to give him credit for that, I guess.
It takes a certain kind of ruthlessness, adaptability to thrive in those environments. You got to be willing to step on some throats, make some enemies along the way.
So what's next? Ends up as Trump's lapdog in the Treasury Department. Back to Wall Street to make another billion. Or disappear to his fancy Charleston mansion, count his money like a goddamn Scrooge McDuck.
Who the hell knows? One thing's for sure, though. Scott Bessent is a slippery motherfucker. He always seems to land on his feet no matter how much shit hits the fan. He's a survivor, and he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Well, that's comforting. Guess we'll just have to wait and see what this Wall Street wizard pulls out of his ass next. Wouldn't be surprised if he ends up running for president himself one day.
Oh, God.
Money, connections, ego, he's got it all.
Now that would be a real goddamn shit show.
All right, that's all the time we got for this deep dive into the twisted world of Scott Bessent. Tune in next time and we'll be dissecting the life of another fascinating, infuriating, and utterly perplexing asshole. Until then, stay informed, stay skeptical, and try not to let the bastards grind you down.